Hello, welcome back. So today I have a deck that I have been over the moon excited to get. The seller shipped it to me so quickly. I think I bought it on Sunday. Either Saturday or Sunday. It's Wednesday and I got it. Which may not sound like that quick, but given the way that the Postal Service has been in the last several weeks, I was very excited to get it. So, it is the Morgan Greer, but it's not just any Morgan Greer. It is a Morgan Greer with borders. I mean, you all know how much I love a deck with borders. And I thought, what better way to show you why I love borders than to do a side-by-side comparison between this Morgan Greer with the borders and another vintage copy that is like every other one with no borders. So I tried to send a picture of this to Melissa Zupan earlier, but can you see? It's very hard on film, I think, and even in pictures, to see the difference in color. So the darker shade on the bottom is the one with the border, and the lighter one is the one that's borderless. But literally aside from that, every aspect of this box is exactly the same. No part of it is really different at all. Well, the colors in the bordered one, like specifically the orange in the background, is a little deeper and a little more saturated on the bordered edition. So this deck is very hard to find. I've only ever seen two. I mean, obviously there's more than that, but it's very hard to find. So apparently it's the second edition of the deck. The deck came out in a brown box, then it came out with borders. Apparently there are not very many of them because lots of people hated the borders, so they took them off. But I think, and you'll see when we do the flip through, I really think that part of why people didn't like it is that the borders look like they've been hand added. Like, they look like someone took a Sharpie and like boop, 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 went around the card. But there's something about it that I love, and I don't know if it's that I feel like it's special if someone took the time to go around each card and do that, or I'm not sure. But either way, I feel very lucky and happy to have it and excited to share it with you all. And yeah, so I'll flip the camera and we'll do a little walkthrough. Okay, so here we have the bordered versus the non-bordered, and I'm not really going to comment on much other than to say that I thought that this was a pen mark, but as it turns out, I think it is a printing error of some kind, because you'll notice that the same pen mark shows up on a few other cards. So, you already know how I feel. I really do prefer borders. So I'm just gonna do a quick little walkthrough because other than the borders, there's not much of a difference. And I think even people who are not a huge fan of borders might still be able to appreciate these because they are not overly obtrusive or really thick, and they're black. That seems to be the chief complaint when it comes to borders, is people are not a fan of white borders. But there's just something about this black border that really makes the card pop. So yes, even though I am biased, I do have a reason. I think the black really finishes off the card well. And on second thought, the colors, there's my little pin mark again. See, it's exactly the same. The colors in the bordered edition are different. They're a little more saturated. Which kind of makes me wonder if the bordered edition is actually not the second edition, but a later edition, because this deck tends to get more saturated the newer the deck becomes. It's unusual to me that you would go from something super saturated like this to something more mild and soft, and then back to the bolder colors later. Oh, also, this is obviously not the order that the deck came in, because it's vintage, but also I reorder. You'll probably notice in every one of my walkthroughs, the order that I do is always majors, wands, pentacles, swords, and then I end with the cups, because the cups are my favorite. A lot of people I find do different. They do like the opposite of that. Cups, swords, wands, pentacles. But see how much more vibrant this one is? The bordered one? It really makes me think that it came out later than we expect. But that little pin mark, so you can kind of see it again there. It's on several cards. Alright, so that is my little flip through of the bordered Morgan Greer versus the non-bordered. Thanks for watching.